Yeah.
Unless it's a Kachuk move, which even now I'd see it would be very premature. I don't know outside of the Gaudreau and Monahan. Trading anybody else right now, I agree with you, Kev. I really do. I think that there should be a shakeup even more than losing your captain, but it depends on what you have. Do you guys think that Eichel is a trade potential for Brad Treliving in the Calgary Flames?
Yes.
I do.
Okay, what package? What package would you give him?
Well, you're going to have to give up one of Zary or Pelche, at least. You're going to have to give up one of Valimaki or Mackey. You're going to have to give up to make it work cap-wise. You're still going to. I think they're still going to give up a Monahan, and you're still going to have to give up 1 or 2 first-round picks.
Now the question, Kev, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think generally that's probably the target. And I'll be honest, I wouldn't do it.
Sean, would you do it?
Yes.
My thing is that
if it's 2 first-round picks, no. But if it's 1 and you can find a way to make it work that way, I think you say yes. He is a franchise center. He is something that the Flames have not had. Monahan's been great, but he's not necessarily a franchise center. And it's that shakeup you desperately need. It's that shakeup to say, we have not been good enough. We've had good seasons, but it's not been good enough. We've gone out and gotten a superstar for this team. Let's go.
So that I would agree with you, only to know that Eichel is healthy.
That's my question.
I mean, Philadelphia's come out and said that they've asked Buffalo for some sort of inkling or records of his health and how that's progressing. And they were denied of it. Buffalo's keeping it close to the chest, and I think that's part of the reason why it has not been done yet. But I mean, overall, you lose a Mackey, Valimaki, a first rounder, a Pelche, and maybe a Monahan. I think I would do it too for a very healthy Jack Eichel.
So yeah, what the rumor was, as per Ryan Kennedy of the Hockey News, the ask for Vegas. Riley Smith, Peyton Krebs, Nick Hague, and a first. So that would be Monahan, again, one of Zary or Pelche, one of Valimaki or Mackey, and a first.
Yep. And depending how high you are on Valimaki, that might be selling high for him, depending on if he's going to be able to take the next step.
I take that and run if I'm Treliving. If you can make that deal,
yep.
You've got your franchise center. You're not giving up Kachuk. You're not giving up Gaudreau. Gaudreau's going to sign pretty quickly after that, knowing that he's got 2 really good centers to play with, no matter what he has there, whether it's Lindholm or Eichel. Again, you're not giving up Lindholm, and you haven't actually taken significant. You haven't taken anything significant away from your blue line to do that. Yes, you've given up a good prospect in Pelche or Zary. Yes, you've given up a good young defenseman. Yes, you've given up a first-round pick in what is considered a good draft upcoming. But if you hit and you make the playoffs and, hey, you go on a run, that's a late 20s draft pick. Don't worry about it.
Not to mention, if you do get Eichel, Gaudreau signs, Kachuk is probably not going anywhere.
Yep.
It's just a question of he scored over 20 goals. Like, I'm not disputing is he a franchise center? Probably.
He is. He's a 36 goal scorer. He's put up Sorry for interrupting you there, Kev. But he put up above point per game or right around point per game rates in the 3 seasons, all seasons except for his rookie year.
Yeah, he's scored over 20. He scored over 30. It's just a question of me of the health, and a question of me of his. And I want to know a little bit more about the attitude. Also, that's the other thing that I'm a little bit curious about myself. But I'm just wondering if there is a player out there that we are not thinking about. Like, everybody is focused on Jack Eichel, and I get it. I totally understand it. That seems to be the most fit because he said, yeah, I want out and all that. Is there someone out there that we're not thinking about that could be a potential fit here?
Definitely a good possibility. I just want to touch on that swagger that you're talking about. Eichel's attitude, it can be detrimental to a certain team. But if you have a Johnny Gaudreau, if you have a Matthew Tkachuk, who are very of the similar ilk of that swagger, and then you bring in a Jack Eichel, there's your team identity. There's a team you fucking hate, period, if you're playing them. Because they will bring that out and they will whip their dick around. They fucking will. And, like, honestly, Can we add that to the new hockey podcast?
No.
Oh, okay. Hey.
I'm just that statement of Johnny Gaudreau for me doesn't match up. But
yeah.
Hey, man, you don't know what he's swinging. But you are right, Kev. There might be someone else out there that could be a slam dunk or a just out of left field kind of acquisition, and depending on what that player is, man, it could be earth shattering for the Flames Nation and that locker room. I just don't know who that player is. Once again, you brought up Travis Konechny, a top end player out of Philadelphia who could potentially be on his way out. I don't know if that's earth shattering, but it definitely is one player that could make a difference within this lineup, that brings that grittiness, that brings that Daryl Sutter type of game. And it could be him. But outside of that, I don't know. And I do like that question, though. I do like the thought process. Is there someone else out there that we have overlooked and everybody else is overlooked and everything is just hush-hush right now? Because it does sound like that Tree Living is in on something.
Maybe this may be okay. We're a podcast. I may be out of left field here, but then two names are coming up. The first one that's coming up in my brain.
Pedersen. Yep.
Yeah. Toss the offer sheet. Can you imagine that?
Oh God, it'd be amazing.
Tyler Seguin. One name that just popped in my head. Maybe. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that is for sure, of course. But he's a bit older than Jack Eichel. So, I mean, and the other one and the other one, I know he confirmed on Twitter that he's the captain of the Philadelphia Flyers. But I wonder about Claude Giroux.
Acquisition cost for both of those, it's
would be in the same.
Oh, I don't know. No,
that would be cost. I think would be looking at some similar price tags in both of them.
Similar to Eichel, I don't think so, man. I'm sorry. Like as far as themselves, maybe. Seguin would probably offer a little bit more. The fact that he had an off year last year says a lot. As far as acquisition cost in comparison to Giroux is, what is he, 35, 36? He's up there in age.
See, I don't care about it. It must be me, but I'm like, he's 105. He's 33.
He's either Ken Holland and Edmonton Oilers up there. I don't care about the age. It's fine. But
Mike Smith is playing for the rest of the century. Okay, he's gone. We don't need a goalie. We've got Mike Smith forever.
Tyler
When he
Seguin,
dies, we're going to clone him.
Tyler Seguin, I don't mind that thought process there. I really don't. I don't know. Sean, do you have his numbers up there for Seguin?
$9.85 million for the next 6.
For the next 6.
And he's 29. I don't know if I would do that if I'm sure living. Giroux is interesting. He's only got 1 year left. Yeah, he's 33. If you can find a way to get him for a cheaper acquisition cost, he's 8.275 for 1 more year. He does have a no movement clause. I don't think he's going to be looking for a trade here. And then for this season, I think he's going to want to see how things go and then move on or retire or whatever. But I like the thought process, Kev. I don't know. Like I said, if Giroux would be willing to waive, I think he's something that you look at. If he can waive and you make a deal and he retains or whatever, and Philadelphia retains on that. But Seguin with the term left on his contract, I think is tough.